Sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We are still live at the Lincoln Business Expo here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. This is the last hour that we will be set up and broadcasting live, but the Expo does go until 3 p.m. today. Come on by. You can register to win 30 free 30-second commercials, courtesy of us here at 93.7 The Ticket. We're also sitting up next to Beatrice Bakery and Teammates as well. You can come on down. At the end of this hour, we will draw the winner for a 5-pound tin of fruitcake. So make sure. Now, this ain't any ordinary fruitcake, Rico.
This
But
ain't no ordinary fruitcake.
Nick Sainert, and back in the studio, first time I get to see good old Rico and his cool-looking fade today. Rico, what's up?
I'm doing great. Hello, everybody.
Hello. There it is. Thank you. I'm out of my sorts. I'm out of my comfort zone. I'm usually in the confines of the studio, sitting across from you, but here I am in Pinnacle Bank Arena. You got the little New York jersey on.
Got my Derrick Rose last year's City Edition New York Knicks jersey on.
It's pretty cool. You got the advertisements and everything, so those are real.
Yep. Got the Squarespace. Got the NYC with the Nike swoosh.
Man, do you remember when I wore my Kobe White Bulls jersey in, and you guys just continued to give me crap?
No, it was a Michael Jordan one, wasn't it?
No. DP got me a Michael Jordan one because.
Oh, I thought you had the NyQuil Jordan.
No. I had a Kobe White one that was not a real jersey. It was not a real jersey. I bought it off of DH Gate for like $5. And because here's the deal, when you're in college, you don't want to have a nice jersey. You don't want to. But here's the deal. So you guys just continue to give me
the silent night.
Exactly.
Not the Kobe White.
Exactly. You had the silent night. So you guys continue to give me crap. So that's why I'm like scarred for life of wearing jerseys into work now, because I feel like I'm just going to get flamed every time I do.
You just got to get a real jersey. That's all it is.
Yeah, maybe. I did see that the Chicago Cubs site was having a sale of 65% off. So I might have to,
go get you a Seiya Suzuki.
Seiya, the other Shohei, the next Shohei Ohtani kind of jersey. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to get, I don't know. They probably don't have a Kosuke Fukudome one anymore, unfortunately. But speaking of baseball, Rico, your Yanks won last night. How about that?
Yeah, they did. The city of New York was lit.
Yeah, they were.
It's like they won the World Series.
Yeah, I would say the Knicks play tonight.
The Knicks play, I believe, it might be at Madison Square Garden. I thought it was at Memphis. I'm not sure. But they play the Grizzlies. Open the season against Ja Morant.
How about that? How many dunks is Ja going to have? Over, under 6.5?
Under.
Over, under 3. Dunk attempts. Maybe I should make that clear.
Dunk attempts, like a million.
A million. All right, cool.
Dunks, under 3.
Okay, sounds good.
Jalen Brunson's going to lock him down.
Interesting.
Although they might throw RJ Barrett on him. I'm not sure.
Is this the first year you guys have Brunson?
Yep.
Okay.
Jalen Brunson making his appearance.
From
starting lineup.
Mavs.
So Quentin Grimes isn't playing, unfortunately. Starting lineup, I believe, is going to be Brunson, Fournier, Barrett, Randall, Robinson.
That's not bad. Julius Randle's probably going to get dealt here, isn't he?
He said that he is, better. I'm not sure exactly. I don't remember the exact wordage.
What is better?
I don't remember the exact wordage. He's working on not being, he didn't say selfish, but everybody else kind of says like a selfish player. He's going to work on getting the ball down the court, not trying to dribble, getting the rebound and dribbling it down the court. He's working on playing off ball. He knows he's not going to be the focal point. He's not going to have to run point forward anymore. So he's just been working on the other aspects of his game outside of just, one-on-one.
Well, how do we think, not Julius, Zion Williamson is going to return?
He's such a freak athlete. And have you seen the pictures of him? He's lost weight.
Yeah, he's lost weight. He's the favorite to win MVP.
Yeah, I wouldn't go with that. But I would probably say, comeback player of the year, or like most improved player. He could probably win that. I expect him to come back with a bang, probably, definitely, easily average a double-double, points, rebounds. Yeah. But I don't know, the Pelicans played pretty well without him, so it might be a little weird for him to assimilate himself back into the lineup.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, you guys are welcome to chime into the show wherever you may be. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, as well as the video stream, also sponsored by Starter Heyman, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. I'm here down at the Lincoln Business Expo. Rico is back in the studio. Rico, okay, so I'm sure you were listening a little bit to the conversation I was having with myself in the final segment there.
Listening to you talk to yourself.
Yeah, a little bit. And so regarding the whole coaching situation and why there's, people kind of Husker fans kind of live in the moment to a certain extent. I want to get your kind of thoughts on that because Sanderson said on the text line, I know most people in the ticket want Mickey, and God forbid you mention another name, but the fact is Trev is going to continue to do the search and talk to several people before making a decision. Other candidates will be interviewed. He isn't just going to stop the search after a 1-point win against Rutgers. And I guess Sanderson, that's what I understand that, and I'm glad that that's how Trev is going to operate, because if he didn't operate that way, then how would you know that just stopping with Mickey Joseph is the best decision or best option for Nebraska football? Obviously, the Mickey Joseph idea is it's enjoyable to think about. It's another former player. He is in not good graces, I should say, but has a good, strong relationship with the athletic director and Trev Alberts. But I don't think it's bad for me to say this. I don't really care who the head coach is. As long as it's somebody that always has the best interest for Nebraska at heart, then I'm okay with it.
I mean,
like as long as sorry, one second, Rico. As long as they operate in a professional way and they always have the best interest for Nebraska football and that athletic department at heart, and just put a little bit of effort into it, then you're going to be fine. Like, I think that you're able to be successful here because of the resources, because of the outstanding support.
It's not like we're saying that they're going to just automatically, hire Mickey, but we are saying that, there's a good chance that if he continues on the path that he's going on, if the team continues on the path that they're going on, that there is a chance that Mickey gets hired. And right now, that's it. It would be an extremely easy transition just based on what the players have said, what the coaches have said, and just the overall feel around the program with Mickey currently at the helm. It would be the easiest of transitions to just, remove the interim tag and make him your next head coach at Nebraska.
Yeah.
But at least for me, I'm not saying that he's, automatically handed the job like, here you go. I am saying he is currently the head coach, so I'm going to talk about it as if he's going to be the head coach in the future. But they hired a national search firm. Trev Alberts said that he's going to speak with other coaches. So I'm going to operate as if Trev Alberts is speaking with other coaches, but 100%. That he's also communicating with Mickey that he could be the next head coach at Nebraska because he currently is the head coach at Nebraska. So I'm not operating under the guise of this is it, the search is over, we're done talking to people. But, if you're just going to keep throwing names out there, at some point, you can't throw every single head coach in the nation's name into the Nebraska coaching search. Like, at some point, you got to chill out and realize you have somebody right now. Sure, you're going to be looking at other people, but if the success continues, I mean, why look anywhere else? And I know some people want to say, oh, he lacks head coaching experience. He lacks this. He doesn't. I think somebody texted in earlier, or I saw it on Twitter, that hiring Mickey would be a bad idea because he doesn't have the type of connections with assistant coaches or around the coaching circles and yada, yada, yada. And I'd like to debunk that because he's been coaching for a very long time. He is a national champion he's a national champion coach. He was coaching wide receivers at LSU when they won their national title. He was a head coach before at a smaller school. I mean, his brothers are coaching in the NFL. He has so many connections across the coaching circles, whether it be, in the NFL or in the college ranks with assistants or other head coaches, that hiring him wouldn't be a terrible idea. I mean, he has the ear of the players. He has the ear of the recruits. You've seen how great of a recruiter he is and how much he's beloved by his current team, his current players, and his current staff, that if you were to keep him on, I don't see how that would be a negative.
Well, you always have – I mean, here's one thing I will add, because there's been a lot of questions on why a search firm. Why does Nebraska always hire a search firm? And number one, Nebraska doesn't do it. Also, it's a very smart thing to do when you hire a third-party search firm. A lot of the times what the third-party search firms will do, they'll work out all the legalities. Now, here's the deal. When there's a sitting Power 5 coach somewhere else, or sitting head coach at any institution, there's contractual like agreements and stipulations on who he can talk to. And there's little fine print in every single contract. Basically what the third-party search firm will help out with is it helps with all the legality, the legal talk, all those little stipulations. They work around all that so that Trev Alberts can have these conversations legally with the sitting Power 5 head coaches. And so that's kind of where it is. It's not necessarily saying that it's not necessarily a third party going up to Trev Alberts saying like, hey, this is a really good guy for the job. That's going to be Trev Alberts' decision, and down the road we'll find out. But what the third parties will usually do is figure out how to get in touch with the agents of sitting Power 5 coaches, work through all the fine print, the legality side of things, so that Nebraska doesn't get sued or doesn't get in trouble from other institutions for talking to sitting Power 5 head coaches who already have jobs and who are currently in a job and tied with a contract. So there's a little bit of red tape there. That's normally what the third-party search firms will kind of work through. But I agree with you, Rico. It's interesting because you always talk about strengths, and this will kind of be the last thing that we talk about regarding head coaching stuff. But you talk about strengths with Mickey Joseph, and we know definitely the building relationships aspect is a major strength for Mickey Joseph because he knows how to relate to the players. He understands what they're going through. He knows how to kind of orchestrate and build a foundational relationship from the bottom up. And I wonder at times, is that what the head coaching responsibility is of anybody, right? And we think back to Scott Frost specifically, and he's not a great example because he didn't win games, so maybe it is time for a change or to go the complete opposite. But do you want the guy that's working best with relationships and has, is exceptional at building those relationships, do you really want him being in a CEO type of role? Or would you rather him be an associate head coach rather, and actually be involved in practices every single day and be involved in more and more meetings and with relationships with the players? I truly don't know the answer. But I do know that I trust Trev Alberts immensely to figure out the right choice.
Yeah, I understand that. But, just because you are the head coach doesn't necessarily mean you need to hit that CEO. Like if you're not the associate, just the regular head coach, doesn't necessarily mean you have to be that CEO type. In a role like that, when you are the head coach, if it does indeed go to Mickey Joseph, he can still be heavily involved in practices, heavily involved with all of the players. And then he could, find himself somebody who, and I don't know how this all works, but this is kind of something that I imagine is he finds somebody who, represents him in a better CEO type role, if that's something that he doesn't want to do. I don't know. I do understand that one time, and everybody made a big deal of it when he said one time that he didn't really enjoy doing the press conference type stuff.
Yeah.
But if he could find somebody who could not do that stuff because he's going to have to, but, go to these luncheons and do the talking, I mean, he's still going to show up and be present because that's what people want as the head coach for Nebraska football at these things. But if you have somebody that can do the talking and be more of the mouthpiece for Husker football, that's also something that he could do, and he could keep himself involved in the meetings and involved in the practices, involved in the day-to-day, goings on with Husker football and with these players, because that's something that he is extremely good at is involving himself in the players' lives and knowing everything about them and being able to what's the word I'm looking for, connect with them on a stronger basis.
Well, and I agree with you there, and we're getting a lot, and I guess this would be a good segue because we're getting a lot of questions, or a couple questions on the text line about Brett Bielema. Multiple people have texted in about good old Bert up in Champaign, Illinois right now because of his connection and his strength being Big Ten football, right? Heavy ground and pound game. And here's one text that we got. I need to find it. Here. Oh, so it's Mike. Mike texted in, do you think Trev would look at Illinois coach Brett Bielema? And then Big Bird asked, does anyone think Brett Bielema is on the table? It would be a pretty good fit, has a Husker style of ball, and has proven to turn a program around and win in big games. Now, I want to take a piece of Big Bird's text because here's an interesting thought. what is Husker style of ball? What is it? Is it think about everything that we've gone through as Husker fans watching Nebraska football over the last couple of years. And this transcends Scott Frost even.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Riley, you had a pro-style kind of offense to where you brought in Tanner Lee from Tulane, thought he was going to be a huge addition.
He throws really well in shorts.
He was going to be able to sling the rock around.
He throws really well in shorts with no pressure.
Exactly. And that was kind of a bust. And that was when you had Divino Zigbo on your roster. Then you go into Scott Frost and you have this whole idea, this mentality of Big Ten's going to shift to us. It was working for so many years at Oregon and then UCF and wherever else Scott Frost has been. He's known coaches. He has a lot of connections to all these NFL minds and the strengths of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't work. And so, like, I would ask, we sit here, and I think it goes back. I do not care necessarily what style of football Nebraska plays. I don't. But if you want to run the ball, if you want that to be your style, act like it. Act like it. If you want to establish a running game, DP is in the house. Oh, DP is looking a nice little shirt and everything.
Got there quickly.
Holy smokes. Yeah, DP is looking fresh with a little suit jacket and everything.
Yeah,
anyway.
Little blue button up.
Yeah, a little blue button. Yeah, looking fresh. Anyway, if you want to have your identity be running the football and establishing a strong running game, act like it. That's what all I ask. Whoever the coach is. And that starts up front. Because year after year. Now here's the thing, Rico. I have to admit, during the Scott Frost tenure, my mind was kind of clouded a little bit. I think a lot of ours were as well.
What do you mean?
To where multiple times, how many times did we hear we want to establish a running game? We want to establish a running game. And this was more preseason, the last couple seasons.
This is what we were told.
Yeah, it's what we were told, right? And it was like one of those things where, all right, this year is going to be the year that they establish a running game. But now that we've kind of removed ourselves from that coaching tenure, like I sit back and I think, why did I personally buy into that?
Year after year. Because we noticed that they did not focus on the offensive line. Year after year, they struggled to develop any consistent group on the offensive line. They established a running game. It was just a quarterback running game.
Exactly.
Which is not sustainable.
And it's not traditional. And that's where you talk to a lot of Husker fans from.
Well, it kind of is traditional if you count the option as a quarterback run game. It's just not sustainable when your quarterback is the only one doing the running and is taking 100%. All of these massive shots and not being able to hand it off or trust that his running backs are going to be able to do anything. And that's not a shot at any of the previous running backs. It's just that when push came to shove, it seemed as if the coaching staff didn't want to put the ball in the hands of the running backs. They would rather it be in the hands of Adrian Martinez running the ball.
100%. And honestly, Rico,
which led to the ball being on the floor a lot.
Here's the deal: you have to also understand, or realize, I suppose, that when a quarterback's able to run the ball, there's a lot more open space. And Adrian Martinez was able to make the most out of open space a lot of the times.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're not open space, you need to figure out blocks. You need to open up holes. And this offensive line struggles over year after year to open up holes for the running back, right? We look at this year, Anthony Grant somehow was, after a couple games, was averaging 120 yards per game. And that was with the offensive line playing poorly.
That was getting met in the backfield at least 10 times a game.
It does not help your running back, and it's not a key to success when your running back has to break one or two tackles before he reaches the line of scrimmage again. It's just not a key to success, unfortunately. And so you sit here and like whoever's next. And Trev Alberts spoke to it last night, which I think it's why it's important to sort of bring up. Trev Alberts spoke to Nebraska needing to find an identity last night. And with that in mind, I don't care who the coach is. If it's Mickey, if it's Brett, and whoever comes in and establishes an identity, just act like you truly want it to be your identity. Because we've heard it that Nebraska wanted to run the ball, establish a running game, but we didn't see it. Year after year, game after game, we continue to not see it.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
Exactly.
If you're going to say you're going to do one thing, do the thing.
I agree. I 100% agree. Because Nebraska fans, I'm ready to, we get asked on the text line, we get asked at games, we get asked at pregame shows of what is Nebraska's identity? What does Nebraska want to do on offense? And right now, I can't tell you. Because Anthony Grant should be given. He's shown the ability to get the rock about 30 times a game
and be successful.
But you also have to keep him healthy, and you also have to give him opportunities. You have to give him an opportunity. And when he's getting met in the backfield before he even gets to the line of scrimmage, you're not helping him out. It's like you have to start 2 steps back before you can go 4 steps forward.
But to give him that opportunity, you first have to actually give him the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you got to be about it.
To establish a running game, you have to actually attempt to establish a running game and run the ball. You can't say you're going to establish a running game and then, hand the ball off to your running back 10 times a game. And if it doesn't work in those 10 carries, you just automatically give up. Because there are some times where, it might take 15 carries before it actually starts, before everybody starts gelling, everybody's warmed up and ready to go. And then you see the next 10 carries go for a bunch of yards, and then your average goes up and you're looking pretty good.
Well, that's the thing is like here. So I'm just kind of thinking of things as we have this conversation, Rico. I mean, we get told on the text line, bring the fullback, back to Nebraska. And I suppose I don't think you have to run the wishbone, though, to be successful.
You don't need a fullback to establish a running game.
I think you just have to act like you want to actually commit to it. And to do that, even if the averages are lower than you'd want, right, it's either going to open up the passing game, and Nebraska, as we saw on Saturday, has plenty of weapons. They have plenty of weapons to stretch the field. And if you have opportunities in the passing game, you're going to open up the running game a little bit, or vice versa. However, it all starts up front. It starts up front. It has to. And if you would have asked me 3 years ago where it started, I wouldn't have said up front. I would have said skill positions. But if anything has shown me or taught, if I've learned anything over these last couple of years, watching Scott Frost, watching this Nebraska program, that offensive line is so crucial to success of a program, because you can't start 2 steps backwards and then go 4 steps forwards. You got to be able to get a little bit of a push up front. And here's the deal: you have Nebraska. We unfortunately have not seen a little bit of push in quite some time. Consistently, I mean. Yep. Consistently. Because we saw, there were flashes in the Oklahoma game in Norman last year.
From time to time, you'll get an offensive line that looks gorgeous. That looks. Yep. You'll get a couple plays here and there where you're like, that's the type of offensive line you need. And then the very next play, somebody will blow right by the offensive line, and Casey Thompson or Adrian Martinez or whoever the quarterback is or whoever the running back is will get lit up in the backfield. And you're like, what just happened? Literally a play ago, you were mauling them and you opened up a massive hole, and then you let them through. The inconsistency is what's killing this team.
Well, and what's wild to think about, Rico, like, here's the deal. Nebraska has been so accustomed to having running quarterbacks or mobile quarterbacks, I suppose, where you go back to, Tommy Armstrong, and you go to Taylor Martinez and Adrian Martinez, and now, Casey Thompson to a certain extent. But I think it's exploiting how bad this offensive line is now that you don't have a mobile quarterback like Adrian Martinez or like Taylor Martinez.
Not an
for
uber
so
mobile
long.
Quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. Casey can move his feet, but we also know Casey's banged up, and that's not his biggest strong suit, is moving his feet and using his feet, I should say. However, when you have Adrian Martinez and Taylor Martinez and Tommy Armstrong and those guys, I think it covers up some of the holes or some of the glaring issues of just how bad, to the extent how bad the offensive line has been in recent years. But here you are.
You think about it, how many?
Now it's Casey Thompson, and he's not even close to a sitting duck in the backfield. But man, those guys on the defensive line on Saturday from Purdue got in the backfield so quick that it looked like Casey Thompson didn't have a chance.
There's no chance. How many deficiencies did a Taylor or a Tommy or an Adrian cover up on the offensive line? How many times did they escape pressure and not exactly run the ball, but just escape pressure and sling the ball down the field? How many times was the offensive line maybe not the greatest, or maybe a person or two on the offensive line wasn't the greatest, but the fact that your quarterback was uber athletic and very mobile, and they were able to escape that pressure, did they cover up for that? And everybody thought, wow, this offensive line is great.
Well, and in part, and before we get to break here, along those lines, did the quarterbacks make mistakes? Yes, but think about how frequent they were having to make plays. And when you make more, or when you try to run and you have the ball in your hands more, you're gonna just inevitably turn the ball over more, and you're gonna throw, fumble it more. Like, yes, and we don't need to get into that discussion necessarily, but the more you carry the rock or carry the pill, the more you're going to fumble the pill. And it's just like,
it's more likely you are.
More likely. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good phrase there. But like, I sit here and I go, It's really the offensive line issues are glaring this year because you have less mobile of a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of crazy to think about maybe this offensive line has been this bad for a couple years now. They haven't focused on it necessarily, number one. They haven't developed it, number two. And number three, we just never knew how or realized just how bad it was because it was average, maybe a little bit below average last year.
Mm-hmm.
But we also had a running quarterback. A number one, like his first responsibility was running, and he knew how to run the football. And that covered up a lot of issues. I truly think it did because nowadays we're seeing this to where Casey Thompson doesn't want to run the ball necessarily a whole lot. And now we're starting to pay the price, and we're in week 9 of the season, and we're going into a bye week. Casey Thompson has a lot of things that he's trying to recover from on top of just the normal football wear and tear of being in practice since August or so. And you have him going after Purdue saying, listen, I'm ready for a bye week. Although I was preparing for Purdue this week, I am ready for a bye week, and I was looking forward to a bye week here in 2 weeks just to rest up. I think it's very telling to where this program's at. And when you say you want to have an identity, whether it's physicality, whether it's mentally, whether it's run the football, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Act like it. And that's where it's like goes back to the coaching thing. It should bring this full circle. I don't care who the coach is. I don't care who the name is. If it's Mickey, great. If it's Brett Bielema, great. If it's Lane Kiffin, great. Just do it. Just act about it. So once again, we are live here at the Lincoln Business Expo at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Come on by. We will be here until 2 p.m. We got about 33 minutes left officially. The Beatrice Bakery folks right to my right are giving away a 5-pound tin of fruitcake. Make sure you sign up. 5-pound tin of fruitcake. Sign up. Don't trust me. It's not normal fruitcake. You got to try a sample. Shaking her head, saying no. But anyway, here we go. So make sure you stop on by. DP's in the house. Rashawn's still in the house. Rick Meyer, obviously, from Beatrice Bakery. The folks at Teammates are a little farther down the row here. A lot of great booths, a lot of great people to talk to. If you didn't hear, Rashawn Terrell and I did knocker ball earlier today. Rico, I know you saw the video. That was a blast.
Y'all don't want the smoke.
That was a blast. Dude, did you see? Now, I'm obviously you saw it. But I got knocked back. I stayed on my feet, got knocked back. I turn around, and Rashawn's coming right back at me.
Yeah, you got to finish the play.
Yeah, he played through the whistle. Rashawn played knocker ball through the whistle. It's a penalty flag. It's just, come on. And Cam Jurgens got called on it for the game against Oklahoma last year, but Rashawn would have gotten flagged in knocker ball if we were playing the official rules. So, all right, let's go ahead and take a break. Come on by, register your business at our booth for 30 free 30-second commercials. You can do that here at the booth at Pinnacle Bank Arena. We'll be here till 2. The Expo is open till 3, so make sure you stop on by. We'll be right back. Continue the conversations on the happy hour, sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting, right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Chances are you haven't started thinking about holiday shopping yet. Chances are your holidays will be much less stressful if you could do all of that shopping in one place. Chances are you can have all that shopping done today with the help of Beatrice Bakery. Pick up Grandma's fruitcakes in sizes all the way up to 5 pounds, and you can sit back and relax this year. Order now at BeatriceBakery.com or buy them here in Lincoln at the From Nebraska gift shop at 8th and Q. Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of yum.
The weather in Nebraska is unpredictable every day, and that's no fun when you're trying to golf. Double Eagle Golf in West Lincoln is now open to let you play in perfect indoor conditions daily. Double Eagle Golf has 5 simulator bays to hit in, by far the most in Lincoln, and has a fully stocked bar with beers and cocktails for you to enjoy while you play. Double Eagle Golf is open each weekday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., so you can start the day there, take a client over lunch, or end the night with friends. Check out Double Eagle Golf today inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes.
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. Right now, they have tons of fall seasonals and Oktoberfest beers, and you can check out their First Street Brewing and Lucky Bucket selections as their beers of the month. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch Crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage stop at 1801 O Street.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
They might win, they might lose, but either way, you have something to say about it. Don't miss the Husker After Party postgame show immediately following every Nebraska football game. Nick Sainert and Jake Bachhoven give instant reaction, quotes from the players and coaches, and take all your phone calls with thoughts on the game. It's the Husker After Party postgame show, only on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sponsored by Action Plumbing and Heating, Gary Michaels Quilliers, and Brent Excavating.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
I wanted to quit for so long, but I didn't know where to start.
I was afraid of what people would think, but then I found the right support to start my recovery journey. 1 in 14 Americans reports experiencing a substance use disorder, a treatable medical condition. Treatment can take many forms, so there are a variety of options to explore and find the one that works best for you. Recovery from drug addiction is possible.
Paid for by the CDC, sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money, but like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary, presented by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert, Enrique Alvarez Clary, hanging out with you guys. I am live here from the Lincoln Business Expo at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Stop on by. It's open till 3 p.m. We are going to be here until 2. We got a couple remotes for you guys today. So obviously we're at the Lincoln Business Expo until 2. Then you'll have On the Block with Strick and Nate like usual from 2 to 4 back inside the studio. And then Old School with DP and J will be out there at Tanner's Bar and Grill on 30th and Yankee Hill. So make sure you stop out there. I'm sure they'll have some awesome deals and just an awesome atmosphere out there with DP and J. DP's actually going to tap in here in a moment, just kind of hang out, give us his thoughts on everything going on. It's a really cool atmosphere here at the Pinnacle Bank Arena. Obviously no basketball courts on the floor yet, but I believe there's an exhibition game on Sunday, Rico?
Saturday.
Okay, Saturday then. There's one of those days, and here's the thing. It's not really important either, but it will be the first time that alcohol will be sold at a Husker sporting event.
Alcohol.
Except besides the
Road
Big
games.
Ten Wrestling Championship. Well, yeah.
That wasn't a
But
Husker
Big Ten-
sporting event. That was a Big Ten
It was
event.
not. It was not, but the Huskers were there.
So it'll
I
be the
suppose-
first time at a
but
Husker event.
At a Husker organized sporting
Home
event that alcohol will be sold.
There you go.
Do
And
we expect
also-
to see people falling out of their seats? I do not.
No. And also, if you listen on Big Ten Plus, BTN Plus, whatever we're calling it nowadays, don't correct me. I don't care.
BTN
You will
Plus,
listen
Big Ten
to.
Plus.
You will listen and hear our very own Eric Strickland on
Eric
the call
Strickland.
doing color commentary.
That's right. That's right. No better person, though. I will also add, like, no better person for that, right? I mean,
I
he
wonder
is
what
a
his
guy,
like dunk call is going to be.
I don't know. You have to remember Buzzy's was
Yakadunka.
Yakadunka. That's right, Buzz. Who's at Missouri State, by the way, now down in Springfield. But that's interesting. I will have to ask Strick on the crossover, maybe.
And it
what
is on
his,
Sunday.
His dunk call. Yeah, it's Sunday.
Yeah.
So perfect. So it's going to be interesting to see. I believe I can't remember if it's Colorado. No, they go on the road to Colorado.
yeah,
I
they go to
believe.
Colorado. I don't remember.
Because obviously now don't forget. Now I will. Let's caution Husker fans here a little bit, Rico, because remember last year they blew Colorado out, and you're
Yeah,
like,
don't do that
dang,
again.
Dang, all right, this Husker basketball team, here we go. 5-star Bryce McGowan's in the fold, and he was great.
We
And I
out
think
here.
when we when we think, here's the deal. When we think about this Husker basketball team, now you and I haven't necessarily done a deep dive quite yet because
Not
we've
quite
been
yet.
focused on Husker football. But just talking to Strick and just talking to a couple people, we're kind of on the page of, listen, they might not have one guy that they need to score 30 points a night, and that's okay. That is okay. And it's actually probably better for this program because it's going to require everybody involved, all the parties involved, to have a bigger presence. You might get 12 from Blaze Keita one night. You might get 10 from Derek Walker, and you might get 10 from Emmanuel Bandamel. But you won't need a Teran Petaway 35-point game. You won't need a Bryce McGowan's 37-point game. You don't need a Dylan Talley. You could
get one, but you
But you
don't
don't-
need it because this
Yes.
team is just so.
You hope that they're more
hopefully-
balanced.
Yeah, hopefully they're more balanced and that everybody can do their own thing.
100%.
You're not going to have that one guy where you're like, okay, well, if this guy can't score, we're screwed. It should be a more balanced, more team effort. They play Shadron State this Sunday.
Yep.
Next Sunday they travel to Colorado.
Okay.
And play at the University of Colorado. Play the Buffaloes. So
Yeah, so it's like one of those things where you look at this basketball team and you hope, all right, maybe it's going to be a little more balanced this year. And I would also say this, if Nebraska is able to shore up their defensive side of the ball, their defensive pressure, maybe it's okay also in part that they don't have a far and away best player on this team because they hopefully don't need to score 65 points in a game to win a basketball game, right? We can sit here and say, all right, let's hope that Nebraska, even if they win a game 48-43, they still won a game.
They won the
which
game.
is something that you haven't been able to say, right, very often. And let's also be honest, this is a make it or break it type of year for Fred Hoiberg, if there ever has been one. And just I don't want to go through a coaching search for Husker men's basketball, and I know darn well Trev Alberts doesn't either.
double
So,
coaching search.
coaching search, gotta love it, right?
And also, in case anybody was wondering, I'm just going to go off of this. Is the women's team next Sunday has a home exhibition
right.
match against Washburn.
And so here's the deal: the women's team, they obviously Sam Hybe is going to be out for the year. They're starting point guard.
Sad.
But here's the deal: they are still ranked 22nd in the AP preseason poll. Husker women's basketball, great season last year. Obviously, ended in the first round of the NCAA tournament against Gonzaga. But here's the thing: Jazz Shelley, you have Izzy Bourne, Alexis Markowski. You have these big-time players returning for the Huskers, and it's highlighted by a really good recruiting class. Callan Hakey is one of the guys one of the girls to watch at that point guard position now that Sam Hybe is out. So just keep your eye on Husker women's basketball and Amy Williams because they've lost a little bit. They lost Bella Cravens. They lost Ashley Scoggin, obviously. They lost a couple other players. But here's the deal. It's not done yet. It's not dead. They're doing just fine.
You also
over
added
there.
to the size inside with Maggie Mendelson. And speaking of Maggie Mendelson, tonight
Yes,
on Big
that's
Ten
right.
Network.
Let's just hit 'em all. Let's hit 'em all,
We're hitting
Rico.
all of it. Nebraska volleyball heads to Purdue to take on the number 19 Boilermakers to avenge football's loss to Purdue. They're headed back out there to take down number 19. The Boilermakers are, I believe, 15-3 on the year. Let's make sure that I'm getting this right. 15-3 on the year, 6-2 in Big Ten play. They had won 14 of their last 15, but dropped 2 of their last 3, including getting swept by Maryland, who Maryland's a good team. So it's not surprising that they lost, but it's surprising that they got swept by Maryland on Sunday at home. So it was at Purdue. They got swept by Maryland. So it's going to be a tough test for Nebraska. Again, number 19 Purdue. They have freshman Ava Hudson. Leads Purdue with 4.68 kills per set, hitting 285. She has been the Big Ten Freshman of the Week 5 times already, and this season she's been the Big Ten Player of the Week twice. So she's on a heater this year.
Yeah.
Purdue's got a star freshman on their hands, but Nebraska just had last week's Freshman of the Week, Becca Alec, in their 2 appearances at home. So it's going to be a really interesting matchup. I expect to see, I hope to see some more sets to the middle for some kills by Caitlin Horde and Becca Alec. Nicklin Hames still starting now that she's come back from her back injury that she suffered against Stanford. She came back with a vengeance. She's gotten like 20 assists in 2 straight games. So it's going to be really interesting to see Nebraska volleyball heading out to Purdue. Little midweek matinee, and then they get Wisconsin this weekend at Wisconsin.
Now, did you see – okay, I have to pull up Ohio. Now, this is sticking with volleyball really quickly. Did you see Ohio State yesterday was giving out free tickets if you were taller than one of their players?
I did not. That what?
So here you go. Hold on. Let me pull up their Ohio State volleyball. I have to pull this up on Twitter.
Interesting.
It was if you were Ohio State women's volleyball. Here we go. All right, gotta find it. Here we go.
Just any of the players?
This was a day ago. This was yesterday.
Okay.
No. So we need to figure out how tall Emily Londot is, because Ohio State women's volleyball tweeted out yesterday. This popped up on my page at 8:50 yesterday morning, and it's actually for tonight's game. It says, "Don't have a ticket for tomorrow's match? Are you taller than Emily Londot? We have you covered. If you're taller than Emily Londot, you'll get in free."
She is 6'3".
Okay, so there's going to be a small group of people that are taller than Emily. But think about that. Like that's a cool little promotion here, to where if you are taller than, I don't know, Allie Batenhorst, or you're taller than I'm trying to think of the tallest Husker volleyball player that I think
it's
of.
Maggie. I think she's 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, okay, so if you're taller than Maggie Mendelson, get in free.
Okay, Becca Alec is 6'4". Allie Batenhorst is 6'5". Lindsay Krause 6'4". Caitlin Horde 6'4". Maggie Mendelson 6'5". So Maggie and Allie are both 6'5". So if you're
so see, here's the deal. So it's like if you are taller than 6, if you're taller than 6. Now this is not a real promotion. Let me be very clear about this. If you are taller than Maggie Mendelson, you get in free. No, it'd be pretty awesome though. It'd be a great promotion. But once again, I saw that pop up on my Twitter yesterday, and I was like, "Whoa, hello!"
Luckily, I have a media pass because I would not be getting in free.
That's what somebody
if
says
you're
on the
taller
text
than
line.
Lexi Rodriguez, you get in free. Well, we're the same height, so
yeah, we'll never forget. I mean, here's the deal: like Wandale was shorter than Eureka. You've got a couple.
So Wandale's listed as like 5'8". But we had some people that went to the pressers that were like, Wandale's not much taller than you are.
Yeah.
Like, he ain't no 5'8". So Deuce Vaughn is 5'6", 5'7". So me and Deuce Vaughn are pretty close.
Rico, look at these dogs.
Oh, they're so cute.
Oh, my gosh. We got golden retrievers. How about those? Those are awesome. Adorable. So once again, really cool situation going here on the at the Lincoln Business Expo. Let's go ahead and take our final timeout. Somebody asked, where was this? This was the Ohio State volleyball game for tonight. Yesterday, they tweeted out, "Hey, if you don't have tickets and you're taller than Emily Londot, who is 6'3", you get in free." So pretty cool stuff going on in Ohio State.
Craig said everyone will get in the night that it's if you're taller than Rico night.
Oh yeah, exactly. Hey, taller than Rico night. Every Pinnacle Bank would be full.
Yeah, it looks like you're not making any money.
I'm looking up. They would have to get the banners up on the 300 level.
They'd
have to pull those up because they would have to need all the seats available if it was taller than Rico.
Well, they're selling alcohol now, so that they'll make up the ticket.
Of course, yeah. For all the tickets for the folks that get in free, just buy a beer.
Yeah,
and
the fact
you
that
get money
the
back.
fact that nobody has to buy a ticket, you have to buy a beer. Sorry, those are the
exactly.
rules.
Yeah, that must be 21. Yeah, obviously.
Exactly.
All right, let's go ahead and take our final time out here. When we come back, we'll wrap up the show. And here's the thing that everybody else is worried about: the 5-pound tin of fruitcake. Shout out to Beatrice Bakery. We'll do that drawing coming up next as we round out our time and our day here at the Lincoln Business Expo at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Nick Sainer here, Enrique Alvarez Clary, Rico back in the studio. We'll go ahead and take our final break, and we'll come back and round out the show up next on the Happy Hour.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with their 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store in the state, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and walk around with it as you shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back. Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Casey's General Stores is giving away 2 tickets to each Nebraska football home game this season. To enter, just head to any Casey's General Store location in Lincoln during the football season, scan the QR code at the front counter, and fill out the online form. One winner will be chosen at random 2 days before that week's game. So head over to Casey's, stock up on all your tailgating snacks and drinks, and register to win 2 tickets to a Nebraska football game, brought to you by Casey's General Store and 93.7 The Ticket.
At Allo, we think you deserve the fiber things in life, like binging your favorite TV shows and movies buffer-free, next level, lag-free gaming, and video calls without frozen faces. So say goodbye to lag and buffering and hello to super fast fiber internet with dedicated 24/7 support for total peace of mind. Plus, no hidden fees, no expiration dates, and no contracts, ever. From dependable service to exceptional support, experience the fiber things with Allo. Go to allofiber.com/fiberthings and switch today.
A good game with good friends. But isn't it time to up the score when it comes to the food? Wings and Rings is here for every football fan. Catch the game on one of their big screens or snag a tail great pack to go. They're cranking up the heat and throwing in mad flavor this season. Stop by your locally owned Wings and Rings on O Street, Meridian Park, or 48th and Old Cheney in Williamsburg Village, or grab some crave-worthy Wings and Rings to go. Make them your go-to destination to watch your team bring home the win. Wings and Rings. Game time just got better.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the Ticket crew live from Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brought to you by A1 Automotive, Mullen Motors, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Bauer Underground, then Bliker with Professional Realty Group, and Ritchie Brothers. Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. and they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.58 per hour. And other select jobs is starting at $24.28 per hour, with wages growing up to $30.30 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez-Clary, sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com.
Well, it didn't sound like there was a question mark there. The Happy Hour?
Was I questioning?
I don't know. Is this the Happy Hour?
Maybe.
I don't
Anyway,
know, man.
all right, so we're back here, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick and Rico hanging out with you guys. This is going to be a big segment, all right, because we're going to give away 30 free 30-second commercials. And we're also going to give away, now, Rico, okay, so here's part one. Look at this beautifully designed tip.
Ooh.
All right, Christmas season is on the horizon.
Who hand-painted that?
I don't know. I would take credit for hand painting, but the Beatrice Bakery people are listening to me right now, so I can't.
I'll take
So
credit.
here's the deal. Yeah, you can take credit
Remember,
for painting
it's
that.
always me.
It's always Rico. Now here's part two, and perhaps the bigger, heavier item.
Okay.
A 5-pound full fruit cake that we are giving away here today.
That thing's bigger
Right
than your
here.
head. You got a big head.
I do have a big head, but it's bigger than my head. So, all right. So once again, we are giving away a 5-pound fruit cake and tin in here in a second. Thanks to the folks at Beatrice Bakery. As always, you know, they're one of our favorite partners. We love working with them, and they have a delicious food. So make sure you guys stop on by Beatrice Bakery, make their way down there, or you can always head online as well, beatricebakery.com for the holiday season. All right, let's go ahead and draw this. Let's go ahead and draw the Beatrice Bakery, the winner of the 5-pound tin. Shout out to David for mixing these up already. I'm not looking in. Here, I'll even do this. We'll even do this. Here we go. Let's get a little spin. Nebraska is 3 and 4. All right, cool. Here we go. All right, fold it. This is a business card. And the winner of the 5-pound. Are these all mixed up, guys? Or the okay? Here we go. I suppose I grabbed the wrong kind of thing. I grabbed the wrong piece of paper.
Grabbed the
My
wrong
bad. Grabbed the wrong piece of paper. I grabbed the winner of the commercials rather than
okay.
the winner of the Beatrice Bakery. All right, so the winner of the 5-pound fruit cake, courtesy of our good friends at Beatrice Bakery, and the beautiful tin, Mrs. John Bartzat.
Boom shakalaka.
Thank you. There's the boom shakalaka. Appreciate that. So we'll go ahead and leave that. I'll pass this off to good old David and Rebecca. And now it's time to draw. Oh, those are the commercials. Perfect. Thank you. So we're gonna switch these out. David's gonna help me out with that. We're gonna switch out the right little
Get the right
things in
ones.
there. Yeah, get the right in the bucket so we don't accidentally give commercials to just a random person. They're say, hey,
Here you go. Figure it out.
yeah, here we go. Commercials. All right, here we go. So we're
Figure out
shaking
what
the
you wanna
bucket.
talk about.
All right, here we go. There's a lot of cards in here. A lot of people want these 30 free 30-second commercials. Can't blame them. All right, the winner. How about that? Wes of Sylvan, the guy we were just talking to. How about that? He's going to be happy as he gets 30 free 30-second commercials. That's awesome. He was just over here talking to us about it, so I'm glad that he was able to win it. So the folks at Sylvan, you'll be hearing them on our airwaves here in a couple weeks. All right, Rico. So, excuse me, Husker volleyball on the horizon. What did you say their next game was again?
Tonight.
That's right. Okay, I didn't want to miss. I didn't want to
Tonight,
misquote.
Big Ten at Purdue.
At Purdue, then they play at
Wisconsin.
Illinois or at
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. I thought they were on a 3-game road trip.
They are. but they
Okay.
play Wisconsin next this
Is
weekend.
it Illinois is in the next 3, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me make
Okay.
sure so I'm not speaking out of turn. I know
Yeah,
it goes
well, that-
Purdue,
it'd be,
Wisconsin.
it'd be kind of awkward if you were.
Oh no, I was wrong. You were right.
It's Illinois.
It is.
Ah.
Purdue today, Illinois Saturday, Wisconsin next Wednesday.
Yep.
And then they come home and they play Maryland. Yep. Okay.
Yep. Because that's the thing is that Maryland game is October 29th, the
Yep.
same day. And I said this yesterday on the show. It's a big opportunity for Husker athletics that day, as Nebraska football obviously hosts Illinois, and at the time, or right now, I suppose, FBS leading rusher Chase Brown and company, good old Tommy DeVito and Brett Bielema. How many times during that week are we going to say, how's Brett Bielema's last name pronounced? Is it Bielema? Is it Bielema? Bielema?
I've heard a lot of Bielema.
We're going to pronounce it a multitude of ways. I will always say Brett Bielema, unfortunately. I don't know if that's
I say
right.
Bielema. Brett Bielema.
Brett Bielema. So anyway, but once again, so that's a big day for Husker athletics. They can knock off Illinois and then knock off Maryland as well.
Yeah, I'd say knock off. You just beat them.
Beat them. Yeah, I mean,
You can go because you can go to the football game because it's 2:30, and then go to the volleyball game because that's at 7. So just make your way from Memorial over to the Bob. Get yourself some double Husker action.
So yeah, exactly. We'll have an opportunity. All right, let's go ahead, and we got about a minute left here, Rico. We'll close it out from the Lincoln Business Expo. If you did not see, Vershawn Terrell and I did some knocker ball earlier. If you're asking what knocker ball, it's where you put the little straps on, you go into a giant inflatable ball, and you ram into each other.
It looks like fun. I did
it. It was fun.
I did it at Coney on the football field.
I was tight. I was up in here, and it's weird because you can't catch yourself if you fall. You just got to let yourself fall, and you just kind of bounce and roll all over the place.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Once again, we have about 30 seconds left. Lincoln Business Expo here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Come by. They're here till 3 o'clock. We're going to say goodnight or see you later. We'll hand it off. Good night. Yeah. We'll hand it off to Nate and Strick here for On the Block. Holy smokes.
Okay?
I'm struggling here. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things going on here at Pinnacle Bank Arena.
We got 10 seconds.
But we're out of here. We will talk to you guys tomorrow.
Adios.
College football